of the greatest boxers of all time, 24-0, undefeated, also a mother and a TV host and commentator, and also, finally, the daughter of the late, great Muhammad Ali. Can we please welcome Laila Ali?
Thank you. How did you remember all that? That's
a lot. I went over it like many times. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
So you have a wonderful smile, and you're here partnering with Colgate. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yes. Well, Colgate for 25 years has been helping children and under lives matter. You know, you have to deal with to be black. We have to work harder at anything that we do. You know, we're judged differently. That's just the way that it is. And if you don't, we know pretty much as an athlete.
But sometimes you got to go and grab it. And I feel like that's one thing one of your father did. He went and grabbed, like, he worked really hard to get that and to be one of the greatest boxers, well, the greatest boxer of all time. And one of the things that he used his platform was speaking out against injustice, famously protesting against the Vietnam War. And do you think that that has led to what we are seeing right now with Colin Kaepernick or Richard Sherman or Adam Jones in baseball, like speaking out, using their platforms as a way to bring about change?
I think that as an individual and something happens that you feel in your heart you want to make a change, you're going to do. You know, and then like a Colin Kaepernick, he can look at Muhammad Ali and say, well, he did it. He can find motivation because when he's at home putting his head down on his pillow, he has to decide, you know, what he can do, right? And he's going to reference Muhammad Ali and how they may have hated him back then. People didn't always love him, you know, and now what he's become. And people can't always see, you know, the end of the road. So, but everybody's different, you know, everyone, because once you put it out there, it's going to stick with you. And everywhere you go, you have to talk about it in interviews, and you got to be ready to stand up for what you're fighting for, you know, and never back down. So I commend Colin because he had a lot of courage. And you can tell that it's not something that he did not put thought into. You know, he knows what he's talking about. He's very passionate about it, and you know, he's trying to speak it for people who can't speak for themselves because he's not affected personally by everything that's going on. You know, so I think it's amazing. But at the same time, I don't expect everybody to do it because everybody's not that individual. Everyone is not Colin. Everybody's not Muhammad. You know, you have to do. I'm not. You know, I'm a mom. I'm like, okay. You know, because trust me, I could be a soldier on the front line and win. But it's like, okay, you have to choose. Do I want to be at home with my kids, or do I want to be a fighter and say, sorry kids, mama has to go out and go fight the world? No. So I have to make a decision. So everyone has to do what's right for them.
And doing what's right for you so often is tied to race. Because when Colin walks around, like, he is still seen as black before, you know, being as like an athlete. It's like one thing, being black is always something that will be ascribed to you. And sort of like right now, I was talking about before my colleague before, like Cam Newton is in a really interesting spot because he has to try to find a way to sit in the middle, like not alienate all of his fans, but still be a black man and speak out for other black men. What is it about navigating that nuance that is so difficult?
Wow, that's not an easy answer. I think that obviously we know as black people what it is to be black, what we have to deal with to be black. We have to work harder at anything that we do. You know, we're judged differently. That's just the way that it is. And if you don't want to admit it as a black person, a white person, Asian person, then I don't know what world you're living in, you know. But obviously everyone has a different perspective. But, you know, when you live in a world where you're black, but we as black people are not calling the shots, we're not in charge, you have to fit in, you have to conform to a certain extent, but still try to be true to yourself. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like with me, for example, I don't a lot of times just posts that I like that I might see that are very pro-black, but I won't post it on my Facebook page because I have fans from all races, from all around the world, and I don't ever like to make people feel separate. You know, and sometimes they do, like when you just be like, Black Power, I love my, you know, so it's like, you know, I think it's time to like, I like the all lives matter, you know. Yes, Black lives matter. Yes, white lives matter, Asian lives matter, all lives matter, you know, and that's kind of what my focus is, but it's hard, you know, because, you know, you got sponsors, and you got this, and you got that, and you don't want to step on anybody's toes and trying to be politically correct, but at the same time, trying to uplift your people, so it's a hard...
Is there a line, though?